The subway car lurched forward as the doors slammed shut, and in that cramped metal tunnel of tired faces and heavy silence, a poor single-dad mechanic made a choice that would quietly rewrite his entire life without him knowing it. His work-stained jacket smelled faintly of oil, his shoulders ached from another 12-hour shift, and his thoughts were fixed on a small boy waiting at home with homework spread across a kitchen table that wobbled on one broken leg. When he noticed the woman standing nearby, pale with exhaustion and gripping the rail as if the world might slip away, he stood up without hesitation and gave her his seat, never imagining that this simple act of kindness was being offered to a billionaire female CEO whose life was unraveling just as badly as his. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and quiet moments that change everything, take a second right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Ripple of Kindness, because stories like this remind us that goodness still matters. The man's name was Adam, and his life had been shaped by losses that came without warning. 2 years earlier, his wife had passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him alone with their 6-year-old son and a mountain of bills that never stopped growing. Adam worked as a mechanic in a small, struggling garage on the edge of the city, fixing cars that other shops refused to touch, often staying late just to earn enough for rent and groceries. Every morning began before sunrise, with him packing a simple lunch and braiding his son's hair with clumsy fingers, promising him that someday things would get easier, even though he did not fully believe it himself. The subway ride home was usually the hardest part of his day, because it forced him to sit still with his worries, watching well-dressed commuters scroll through phones that cost more than his monthly utility bill. That evening, the train was especially crowded, and Adam barely noticed the woman at first. She wore simple clothes, a white top under a loose jacket, and her face carried the quiet strain of someone holding too much inside. Her eyes flicked around the car as if searching for something solid to hold onto. Adam saw her sway when the train jolted, and before his tired mind could calculate the cost of standing on aching legs, he rose and offered her his seat with a gentle nod. He leaned against a metal pole, steadying himself as pain crept into his knees, thinking only that he would want someone to do the same for his son one day. The woman sat down slowly, surprised, and something in her expression softened. Adam turned away, embarrassed by the attention, unaware that she was studying him, noticing the grease under his nails, the worn boots, and the quiet dignity in the way he stood without complaint. What Adam could not see was the storm she was carrying. Her name was Claire, and she was the CEO of a global technology company worth billions, a woman praised in magazines for her brilliance and resilience. That same morning, she had walked out of a boardroom where people she trusted had tried to push her out of the company she built. The lawsuits loomed, headlines threatened to destroy her reputation, and the weight of responsibility pressed on her chest until breathing felt difficult. For the first time in years, she had left her driver behind and taken the subway, desperate to feel like a normal human being instead of a headline. As the train rattled through dark tunnels, Claire felt something unexpected settle inside her. Watching Adam stand there silently, refusing comfort even when his body clearly needed it, stirred memories of her own childhood, when her single mother worked 2 jobs and still found time to teach her the value of decency. Claire realized how rare it was, in her world of power and transactions, to receive something with no strings attached. Adam did not know her name, her status, or her struggles. He had simply seen a fellow human being in need. Days passed, and Adam returned to his routine, unaware that his small gesture had followed Claire out of that subway car and into her thoughts. Meanwhile, Adam's life continued to test him. The garage owner warned him that business was slowing down, hours might be cut, and Adam felt the familiar knot of fear tighten in his chest. His son needed new shoes, the fridge was nearly empty, and hope felt like a luxury he could not afford. Still, He showed up every day, wiping grease from his hands and fixing what others had given up on, because that was what survival looked like. One afternoon, a sleek black car pulled into the garage, drawing curious looks from everyone inside. Adam assumed it was another impossible repair job, but when the door opened, he froze. Claire stepped out, dressed sharply now, confidence restored but eyes warm with recognition. She approached him calmly, explaining that she had been looking for him since that subway ride. Adam stood speechless, heart pounding, as she thanked him for giving up his seat, explaining how that moment had arrived when she felt completely alone. He listened, confused and uncomfortable, until she revealed who she was and what she did. The truth overwhelmed him. Adam felt embarrassed, thinking his simple kindness did not deserve attention from